everyone for your energy and contributions to this really important conversation. It's been a riveting time today, and I've been absolutely absorbed and engaged. I just wanted to share with you my reflections on where I think we're heading based on all that we have heard today. My name is Toki Mabugunje, and I'm an FEDN steering committee member, and I represent one of the private sector voices in the network. Currently, I serve as the Vice Chair Africa at the International Chamber of Commerce, and I'm also a past president of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, which is located in Lagos, Nigeria, West Africa. My other hat is that I'm a business development consultant, and I'm founder and partner in a business development consulting firm which enables small and medium enterprises to grow. So I'd like to start with thanking the National Endowment for Democracy, the NED, for being a steady supporter of FEDN. I would also like to thank all of our speakers. They were all awesome. Thank you so much to all of you. Many of you are fellow members of FEDN, and I'd love to thank the Secretariat as well for putting this event together. It's been a really great one. FEDN matters to me because it provides a platform for like-minded individuals and experts from across the globe to share experiences and to discuss ideas on developing democratically prosperous societies. FEDN also supports various agencies and partners across the world, and the experts on the network provide technical assistance on market reform. We began this conference by asking whether democracy has delivered up to its expectations. Our first panel today was very engaging. At the close of discussions, our panelists were of the opinion that the opportunity for leadership to improve on how democracy delivers is affected by a number of factors. Chief amongst these are: one, strengthening state capabilities to deliver on state goods and services to the people. Two, engaging with digital innovations, for example, AI, to have a predictive view of the future. Three, citizens' engagement, which has become a really critical factor in today's world, and that this actually has become quite important. I mean, citizens have a really important role to play in today's world. Four is the rhetoric divisiveness that exists today. This needs to be toned down, and civil society can play a very important role in this area. And finally, five, we need to focus on tackling state capture. Friends of democracy ought to understand three different kinds of democracy. First is democracy as an ideal. Second is democracy as a real-world system, and one that tends to outperform other systems, but it never quite reaches that ideal. And third, of course, is democracy as a work in progress, which requires constant renewal across the world and from time to time. Friends of free enterprise ought to recognize that opportunities for investment and innovation flow from the freedom and rule of law that democracy provides. Further, we should recognize that the business community has a stake in lifting up these freedoms and in lifting up the rule of law. Really, all of this is to say that leadership is required to shape institutions, norms, and practices that make democracy deliver. Certainly, top leaders must be accountable for their decisions and their activities. We do need more effective mechanisms of accountability, yet ultimately, leaders from civic groups, the business community, and public service must set the tone and expectation for how our governments and our economies perform. We cannot wait for good leadership to emerge somewhere else. What then can each of us do to lead according to what we have heard today? I guess first we have to keep making the case for democratic and market solutions. This is a consistent theme for over 10 years now, and increasingly important in an era of low trust. And honestly, that trust deficit continues to grow. Across FEDN, we're finding creative ways to make the case for new generations and audiences, bringing the solutions closer to home. Second, there are issues where we should focus. For example, technology. I mean, we heard a lot about technology today. So there's technology, there's local governance, of course, there's accountable investments, etc. And we heard from one of our panelists, I sort of loved what he said, so I'm just taking this as an example. And what he said was he gave an example of how they had used technology to move the electorate from opinion to information, from information to knowledge, and then from knowledge to wisdom. Third, we need to collaborate in new ways because many of these challenges are interlinked, but our responses still are not. There are a lot of activities going on in various silos across the world. In this sense, leadership is about new types of partnerships. How else can we prepare communities to deal with the transnational threats and opportunities? And how else can we leverage private sector support for civic causes? Within FEDN, partnerships may mean mutual support across borders, regional engagement to amplify our respective efforts, or putting our heads together and raising our voices on issues that aren't getting the attention that they deserve. We have quite a few examples, and we had quite a few examples today as we listened to our various speakers throughout the day. And we had so many examples that show that collaboration between private sector, civil society, public sector, and of course, in many cases, the citizenry themselves can help to take us to the place that we wish to be. The input that we have heard from this conference will feed into SIPE's program strategy and future FEDN activities. I know that in the audience, there are members from government, from civil society, from business, and from various other sectors. And I know that the most important outcome of a conference is the next step that you take to follow up on an idea or to reach out to a potential collaborator. So please reach out to the FEDN Secretariat with your ideas. Reach out to that potential collaborator that you have met at this conference. Thank you once again for joining us. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate each and every one of you. And believe it, together we can make democracy deliver. Once again, my name is Toki Mabugunje, and thank you so much for your attention. So, Mari?